Used to protect the city by land. Those were the two main protections of the city. And also I'm going to show you a really important image of the castle, because the castle is a group of fortifications that are wide at the base and they get narrow towards the top. So at that moment, the only way to take the castle was going to the top. 1656, the beginning of the building process. Okay? But from the walls, they were built in order to protect the city against the pirate attacks. And the first pirate attack was in 1543. Robert Ball. He came here, he bombed the city, he destroyed a part of it, and he asked for the request. After that, okay, the Spaniards, they say, no more pirate attacks. And they start to build the walls in 1614. And from here also you're going to be able to see the two main entrances of the group of islands of Cartagena. The first one was Boca Grande. As you're going to see those white buildings, we call that area of Little Miami. Okay? It was protected by a sandbank. So for most of the ships, for most of the pirates, it was impossible to enter by that zone. The second entrance is the one, it's impossible to see it from here, but you're going to see a straight line over here, and then at the end we have Boca Chica. Boca Chica was protected by a small castle. And most of the pirates, they entered through that zone. So it was so important because this pirate attack, or this corsair attack, was the biggest one in Cartagena. What is the difference between a pirate and a corsair? Pirates came here to ask for the request. The corsair was sent by the crown of the country. It could be England, France, or Netherlands, were the main countries coming here to Cartagena. But in 1741, a very important English corsair named Edward Bernard, he came here with more than 24,000 soldiers and 180 ships. He came to Cartagena because at that moment, England and Spain, they were in a war, the War of the Jenkins' Ear. So at that moment, he wanted to search for all the treasures, but England wanted to conquer all this area from Spain. So 24,000 soldiers and more than 180 ships. The defense in Cartagena, about 4,000 to 5,000 soldiers, no more than that. So even at the beginning there was a huge difference. But in the defense of Cartagena there was a very important general named Don Blas de Lezo. So Don Blas de Lezo, he lost different limbs in different battles. An arm, a leg, and an eye. They half men. But what he didn't have in limbs, he had it here in a strategy. And also he used the castle, the same Philly castle, as a main defense from the city. Okay, so Edward Bernard, he came here, he entered through Boca Chica, and he started to bomb the city and he started to siege the city. For a moment, he started to think that he had a victory. And one of his servants told to him, okay, Edward Bernard, my lord, let's take San Felipe's now. It's defenseless. And he said, the castle for later, they are going to die anyway. For me, it's more important to send a report to my lord in England saying, my lord, I successfully conquered Portobello, nowadays Panama, but also Cartagena the Indias from Spain. Please make a coin and also a medal to memorize this moment. With Blas de Lezo in knees, giving me his blade. And he has to say, it's done. Me, Edward Bernard, pulled down the Spanish crown. But the England, they were celebrating the victory ahead. They were partying in England at that moment. But you know what happened? After 18 days, they were delayed. So Edward, Don Blas de Lezo, he divided the very small Spanish army in two groups. One to delay the attack and the other one to defend the castle. And he started to build around the castle a trench in order to prevent that the English soldiers, they start to get close to the castle. So it was so important because even from the top, even from the base, he had the cannons waiting for Edward Bernard at that moment. So after 18 days, the English soldiers, they start to get delayed. And they start to suffer some things. For example, food and water depleted for them. No more. And the Spanish, they were ready because they were starting to get supplies. And at that moment, they started to collect the water even from the rain. And they used a very important stone named alumbre to purify the water in the castle. Okay? And also, there were tropical sicknesses, malaria and yellow fever. And also the English soldiers they start to die because of this reason. So after 18 days, 20 days to be exact, the English army was reduced to about the half. 12,000 soldiers to 13,000 soldiers. At that moment, Edward said, okay, let's take San Felipe's now. And when they were getting close to the castle, to the trench, one by one, the English soldiers, they were down. So when Edward Bennett checked that he only got 100 soldiers, he said, okay, Spain, I surrender. But remember that you didn't defeat me. It was an spirit of the indigenous tribes living here in Cartagena. So it's so important because this is one of the only pirate attacks, corsair attacks that we had in the city that we actually won. Most of them, they came here and they asked for their request. And Edward Beno, when he came back to England, he was the monk of the other countries because of this thing that happened in the city.